For testing purposes on this glass shader, I am using a directional light. You can make a directional light by going to Create, Lights, Directional Light. This is the type of light that you see used very commonly in a lot of other programs like Unreal and Unity. But in Maya, the directional light is slightly flawed, as it goes in a direction, but it never diminishes. It uses no perspective, which means that your shadows will always be the same size regardless of the light's placement or angle. However, it's a great light to test things with because you don't have to position it in your scene. You don't have to scale it, you just stick it in your scene. I moved mine up a little bit to make it easier to see. And now, if I head over here and run a render, any place I put the light, if I rotate, the shadow angles will change and the scene will always be fully illuminated. So while it's flawed, it definitely has a purpose. And in this case, it's going to serve us well because it's going to be a nice strong light source that will show us our glass shadows. Also, just to make my renders go a little bit quicker, I am using a torus for testing, and I'll bring in a more complicated model when the time comes. Looks like that. Just shut that off for now. So I've got a plane, I've got a torus, and I've got a directional light, which again, it's just Create, Lights, Directional Light. So with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and get started on my glass shader. I will pull up my hypershade. I've got a nice tab waiting for me. I am going to go AI Standard Surface. I'm going to call this Glass AIS, and over here in my attributes, here's my transmission. I will turn my weight up. If I roll down specular, I can see my index of refraction. It's set to 1.5, which is pretty standard for glass. At this point, you may also choose to put a color into your color picker. Let's go green. Let's just make some nice green glass. And if I assign that to my torus, that's what I'm going to get.